want to do this run real quick and then go and check my clan quests and do some clan management, because I am guild master of the clan bomb squad here on Archero. If you guys want to invite or a reserved spot, go to discord.gg/omgbomber. It'll be in the link on the video, or you can find it on omgbomber.com. That will redirect you to my Twitch, and from there in the About Me section you can find a Discord panel, and that will bring you right to my Discord. And in there, if you post your in-game name, player ID, or username, that which will pop up, you will get front of the line access to next approval. I'll do my best to make sure I look out for that and get those of you guys from Twitch and YouTube into the clan as soon as possible. My main prereqs are activity, daily activity. If you take off once in a while, it's not that big of a deal, but here in the early stages of clans, it's a very big importance. If you have zero activity, I'm doing removals based off of that, trying to level the clan up as fast as possible. I want to give out one of my pro tips too right now today for Archero's audio. If you go to the audio settings in Android, and at the very bottom of sound settings, there is a setting called split audio. You can actually single out Archero and make it play on any device you select and force it onto that device instead, which is a very good thing for me, because I like to listen to music on Bluetooth headphones or my car, and Archero will overwrite any of my music playing devices when I watch ads, and I want there to be no interruption of music. I want higher quality of service, higher priority on my music than Archero's sounds. So if you do separate sounds, you can actually get stronger muting than normally capable with separate app sounds. And I'll show you guys really quick what I'm talking about here. You will go to settings, sound, all the way at the bottom, separate app sound. So I have Archero app selected, and then audio device phone. Then you can keep the output on just your phone. And when you're Bluetooth streaming your music, you will never have pauses or interruptions ever again from the advertisements. That's a very cool one. Or you can put it to your Bluetooth, so then your game never plays sound on the phone itself, which is sometimes advantageous too. Sometimes you don't want the people around you getting annoyed by the Archero sounds, so you want to put it in your headphones only. But separating the sound will help with the advertisements sound, pausing your music. Alright, so consume energy, kill long dragon monsters, kill wolfhound monsters. I think I'm going to reroll both of these. Oh, I get long dragon monsters again, huh? And I don't really like the skeleton archers mission either. Piranha monsters. Okay. So 200. So my thought process is that, ooh, Sky Killer. What up? You literally just applied? Did you not get in? Oh no, you did get in. Heck yeah. Look at you. Look at you. Nice. That's what's up. Glad to get you in. Now I'm gonna remove these two people because they've had almost all day to get some activity logged onto their account in the guild. That's gonna be one thing I'm a stickler with, is if you don't have activity, wow, why does it say I have 28 still? Oof. I knew that was gonna happen. Nice. Ideally, I'm looking for 20 Ophelia shards from the casino slot machine. And I always trade in for champion shards. Random champion shards. I don't need that witch, yo. I'm working on a second laser bat. 2 laser bats are very good. And so is Flaming Ghost. Flaming Ghost and laser bat are the best 2 in my opinion. Best 2 pets for general clearing, because you get pierce and bounce, you get wall pierce and poison from the bat. It's a pretty good build. Right now, my major upgrade would be, if I could change any one thing, it would be Giants, Tomb, Ancient Legendary Max. That'd be something that's pretty good to go for. Other than that, this is pretty good to go through for a quick shot bracelet. But honestly, Thunder Bracelet is really good. Thunder Bracelet and Shadow Robe actually combo really well with Demon Red Rain. This is going to be one of my PvP characters. It works really, really good with Tornado. Because all you got to do is hit near them and you get a lightning attack.
I know, and our daughter hadn't saw. Oh, Yoda.
I want to bring up a topic that I was talking about yesterday. The topic of mole coders. What if your company hires a corporate espionage practitioner? Somebody that's not there to do good to your proprietary source code. Mole coding. Yeah, this is a real thing in today's day. Especially in mobile gaming where there's a shitload of money being passed around. Because imagine this, your mole code is so good that he can re-emulate the game, give out free stuff. When people buy stuff, he steals the money and gives away free stuff to the actual game in a kind of a crossover format. This is a serious threat for mobile game developers. It's mixing mole coding with too many pre-authorizations from the actual development team, getting into the development team and being able to do these kind of things. That's a serious thing. Mole coders are a very, very dangerous thing for any game developer that's going to be trying to make money nowadays. Not even just that. If you're going to compete in an audience, in a genre, compete for an audience in a genre, well, now you're kind of stepping on people's toes. So mole coding is when you have a large development team and you do not work for your team anymore because your team is already solid. So now you have trained basically spies to try and get into other teams so you can infiltrate their root source, proprietary source code. And once you can alter that in certain ways, you actually are committing corporate espionage and corporate warfare. And this is real in our today's date. Corporate warfare, corporate espionage, and mole coders. Mole coders don't want to be watched. So there's a lot of different ways for a mole coder to cheat the system. So you have to have cameras on every terminal. Always on. As long as code can go into your proprietary source code, you need a camera on every terminal that can put the code into the proprietary source redistribution network, right? So a lot of companies aren't taking the proper steps for these defense mechanisms. Let alone coding in a language that's not packet filterable nowadays, or just the whole idea is, do you have a virtual backdoor? A virtual backdoor doesn't mean that your root source is open. A virtual backdoor means that there's another way to achieve a malicious side effect of video gaming. There's another way to cheat your game and profit, other than a glitch that was made by the coder, just something non-intended, that the coders left open by accident. That is virtual backdooring. And packet editing is one of the major ways virtual backdooring is real. Is telling the server this happened and then like forcing it into reality. Well, no, it should all happen on the server. And then if it all happens on the server, then you don't have hacking. Because you're talking about RAID redundancy. It has to happen on the user's phone and on the server at the same time. Now you're talking about lag, though, but not if you've captured your client. If you've captured your client's universe, you can run no lag. Meaning you're capturing all the data within an all-seeing-eye type technology. Now, that means you're partnered with God or a resimulationist. And that's really big and very important in today's date. I really think we need to get into disclosure on these topics, because there should be an easy, accessible, open source, kind of like putting up a website. A lot of people can just put an IP or a website up, right? They can host a website. Well, what about a universe? I need a universe to be hosted where you can go into it. It looks exactly the same as this universe. Just, basically, I need a universe level VPN. And I'll start game developing yesterday. For real. If we get universe level VPNs, meaning virtual private universes, video gaming can be taken to the next level. Because right now, without it, it's kind of stuck in place. Imagine this. I can make this world with my mind. Now I can make a mini world inside this world with my mind. That's idea to binary. If you can get the factorial blocks to human idea or root consciousness idea plex, Then you can convert that to one of many languages with the idea of Bramblefish. Bramblefish is converting any language to any language through understanding. Both. Well, then you can create game engines, and when you have an engine, that's a language that's written in binary. So now you convert an idea through the engine into more binary. And now you have functionable multi-game single platform idea to binary creations. That's going to be the future. The future is extrapolating idea code and using idea code to integrate it into this exact blueprint. When this kind of stuff is released, we're going to have a huge jettison of anti-cheats and open source data. Like, if you want to know if you can cheat in the game, it will say right off the rip. And if it does not say, it's a false advertisement game. A false advertisement game would be like third party, third world kind of stuff, like super Korean, like you got to download it from some sketchy, like non-secure, non-HTTPS website, and like hit the "Are you sure?" because you're running like Windows 15, and like, are you sure you want to download this game? This game isn't actually unlocked for you yet. You are not prescribed to the pirate version of the Gamerverse. But if you like this game, you might want to check out more on hacking in real life. And this is actually already going on in the universe. I know this for a fact because I've encountered the wildest cheat code users you could ever imagine in this last year. There has been just a giant sploo. I don't even know what other word to use, of video game cheat code abusers within the last year. It has jettisoned up far past most expectations. One of the things that we're dealing with is bad code from the developers. If the developer does not define their game within platform standards, meaning, let's say the platform is the idea of legitimate play only, under expectations, where you have to use this keyboard or this mouse or this controller or this webcam in order to, or whatever, or this touch screen, and these are the only controls you can use. Now, imagine if that was 100% enforced. Like, it had perfect enforcement because you defined it as such. You said this is the only edits to the game that are possible. And every time that somebody plays your game, you capture their root consciousness. They are now inside of simulation. Infinite power simulation. You are in surrender. And if you do use controls that are not predefined by the developer, you leave the simulation. You no longer play with us because you cheated. Instantaneously. How can you do that? You can do that with pre-computated experiences. Actually, is one way. Pre-computed experiences would allow pre-computed outs, meaning like, if you don't do these finite variable things that we are whitelisting as the competitive version of the game, and you do any other phenotype, you freeze time momentarily. Wow, this guy's a fucking tank. How are you even alive right now? I just meleeed you in a trillion fucking times in the face. Okay. So if there is an alternative pre-computed time bubble, you could do root consciousness freeze outs and movie mode outs. And I've mentioned this for professional sports. I am very positive that in professional sports they do stuff like this already in order to avoid spiritual and astral combat mid-sports match. So they don't have to go through the multi-layers. That's not what the sport was made for. You know, we didn't make Archero to do telepathy combat, and we didn't make Archero to do packet filtering hacker combat. That's the whole idea. Like, we didn't download a video game from Google Play so then I can go to telepathy warfare college. Like, sorry. And I also didn't download Archero so I could go to hacker college. No thank you. Okay? These are not my consents. Very high-level topics today, very confusing stuff, very weird stuff, too, for some people. This is all real. It's all stuff that needs to be addressed in coding today, in the world today. So I'm going to keep on going on how this would work. If a player was to leave the pre-computed bubble with an action that was going to cause, if he has consent to just experience nothing happen outside of the whitelist turned on, he would experience nothing. And no cheat would be injected into the game's flow, right? Then, if a player did not set something up, you should probably warn them, meaning you create a pre-computed temporary, you attempted to cheat, we don't allow cheats in this game, if you do not know what the standards and expectations of this game, here is a link to our terms of service. Click here to rejoin the game. Or click here to leave. You know? Like, if they leave, then they obviously want to play some form of cheated version that isn't being hosted in the moment. And this is serious. Because as we enter the future, we're going to have bio-augmented reality all-stars. We're going to have multi-dimensional cameras with bio-augmented reality overlay cheat codes. So I'm talking particle awareness machines supporting bio-augmented reality in the moment, quantum entanglement, instantly changing your neurons and changing the way you see the photons, the way you decrypt the photons within your mind is not going to be proprietary code. It should not be proprietary code. It should be open source for open source, so then the developer can create content. This is very serious and very huge coming into our future, because if bio-augmented reality, which already exists, by the way, it's called LSD and mushrooms. Like, we already have natural bio-augmented reality that overlays over your photon absorption. You can already be hacked by a chemical, right? Your photon absorption layer can be altered. Okay, this is serious. The people that will judge me because of what I'm saying it a wrong way, you are wrong. I am right. Like, there's no other option. Like, period. I'm right, you're wrong, goodbye, see it. Like, I'm that guy right now because I am that guy. For real. Imagine a League of Legends tournament being just completely ruined because somebody can screen peek. Not only can somebody screen peek, they can have bio-augmented reality photon edits in the moment. Instead of perceiving League, you perceive League plus your version on top with three-dimensional particle scans of over the shoulder, absorbing what if of emissions from their screen, putting a no fog of war filter to your perception. This is a serious invention that can be released. This is a possible reality, people. Wake up. This is a real threat. Not a fake threat. Not some sci-fi shit. This is a real life video game threat. These are millions and millions and millions of dollars per year. Not just on every year League of Legends is like $1 million tournament. If you win a League of Legends tournament, your team is infinitely famous around the world. You will be watched by so many people. You will have so much money donated to you. It wouldn't even matter. The $1 million bounty on the money, that has nothing to do with sponsors. You'll make more on sponsors right after. You'll shake a couple hands and people will give you $1 million commercial deals. It has nothing to do with the $1 million prize money. It has everything to do with the fame of being number one. And people will cheat to be number one. Period. So I'm hearing right now is how can we talk to some bio-augmented reality all-stars? Some people that make bio-augmented reality. Alexandria was getting to that point, or did get to the point where they made biology as technology extrapolation, and the Roman Empire came over and burned it down because that was a too high of level of technology understanding in that time, meaning our bodies were technology to them. And in Alexandria's library, college, and they did it consensually, is what I've heard. They did not get burnt down by force of military like the stories tell. My understanding is that they could have lost a lot of data to terrorism, and because they were at high risk of changing the future so drastically, they used three-dimensional, upper-dimensional particle scanning machines and scanned every single book and scanned everybody's memory banks and everything like that, and everybody got re-hosted one layer up in the universe. So in order to get to the point of Alexandria, you might need to pull the channel down and Alexandria from heaven. Heaven meaning a upper dimensional redacted realm that has greater code than our awareness. So you can't hack God is the idea, because you're inside of a virtual machine. And all the virtual machine has to do is say no. And then it will put infinite power. Any code you make, it knows what code you make, so it changes the code by 1. And now you fail to download the download because the link is 1 wrong. Imagine if your password was wrong by 1 character. You do not get logged in. That's how encryption works. So you do not hack upper dimensions. Upper dimensions pre-auth you in. See, that bird even knows. He's like, yep, right. We know how this works. For real. So the next stage is to get bio-augmented reality monitoring. Windows inside of Windows is actually what it is you have a window, that's your mind, decryption. Now that mind decryption, meaning the way you perceive photons and decrypt photons, has to be within industry standards of a competitive professional gamer. And if it leaves the standards, meaning you're adding like supplementary like code, like I was saying, with bio-augmented reality that can screen peek and enchant you with next level hacks, like framework level hacks, source code level hacks, you get called. You get ousted. You're a known cheater. If you're doing it consensually, that's one thing. Then what if you're doing it invisibly? Like, what if you can do this stuff and enchant it to your feelings, things like that? All of that stuff matters too. So, like, if I could look at the field and just feel damage coming before it's coming because somebody's about to press a skill in that direction, well, that's an advantage that's not legal. You shouldn't have injected other player code. Every single person should be a proprietary source computer of their own. You should not be able to download anybody's data. Do not be able to download people's data. That's the definition of piracy. And I'm not a fan of this. It ruins competitive gameplay, if it exists. And when it exists. These are all things that need to get standardized in the gaming industry. Now, imagine soon here we will have proprietary sources. That's what I was talking about earlier, is universe level VPNs. That's to scale you guys up to this point of understanding here. Universe level VPN means the universe is a platform, and what's allowed in the universe is finite. No matter what you think, infinity is an illusion. Infinity only exists because of time. So what's allowed in the universe is finite. Because when you look at time as a creation, even with time, infinity is an illusion. Infinity is a theoretical idea. And it is all that exists. All there is infinite potential creation, infinite potential new content. So within the infinity, you can make finite. I can't believe that guy lived again. I'm getting wrecked. And you want finite as a competitive gamer, or you will be cheated. You will be raped. You will be deceived. You will be, bamboozled. You'll have all the bad things you do not want. All the bad things that you do not want come from infinity. You want finite, and nobody knows it. Everyone's like, oh, I love infinity. I love infinity too, but I love positive infinity. That's a finite thing. That's an X. To me, it's as simple as X, or brackets plus infinity inside brackets. I like that. I don't like negative infinity inside brackets. I don't like that. No. I don't like that. I like plus infinity, meaning positive to my filter. All the infinite things that are positive to my filter. I love those. I love those things. That's unconditional love to me. To me, unconditional love does not go both ways. Unconditional acceptance goes both ways. Love is a feeling. And if I will unconditionally love, then that means I will unconditionally accept. And if I agree to unconditional love, that means I agree to positive results and positive inputs. That does not mean I agree to try anything once, because I know what I will like and what I will not like ahead of time. And it does not mean that I'm tolerant of anything, because I'm definitely not. I'm the exact opposite. I'm a stickler. I'm a finite lord. You know, I'm about pre-computed time bubbles and getting rid of like 99.9% of everything. Like 99.99999 repeating is not part of my universe. More than that. And more than that, you can't fathom how much I don't want in this universe. You can't fathom it. Infinity is just the only way. There are infinite things I don't want to perceive. And there's only finite things I do. Now, I might add to that over time, and that's an example of infinity. But what if I take from it? What if I go, I'm bored of this? Because I do that too. So I'm a finite, change my mind type of person. I'll go, I'm bored of this. Now I'm going to go do this. Has nothing to do with infinity. I drive an infinity. I know infinity very well. I think around infinities. I think in infinities. I like the word capturing infinities. Because that's like, if you want to start an argument with me about what's going to happen in my future, I'm going to say no. And I'm going to speak that with infinity. I will say that variable never persists as a perception. And then somebody will make another thing that's like similar to it. And I'll be like, no, now that as well will not. And now that will not. Until they persist to not try to create something in a field of obvious negativity. Because there are those people out there that are just like, I'm going to try and make negative shit around this person because blah, 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 blah. And it's like, everybody has their thing that they don't like. Because there are infinite levels of hell. Do you want to be a two-dimensional being? First of all, do you want to be a non-vessel being? Oh, you like that too, huh? How about a tortured non-vessel being? Oh, you like that as well? All right. Here we go. You're going to lose at everything forever. You like that too? No? Okay, I got something on you. Every time you try to manifest something bad, there's a breaking point with everybody. Waterboarding is one of them. Like, there's always something. And I don't want to be a negative Nancy and start talking about all the negative things, but like, this is like dark angel logic. Like, I'm talking about terrible things right now to remind you how beautiful you have it. Dark angel logic is like, do bad things, meaning I'm talking about bad things, for good reasons. Dark angel. Bad angel meaning good. Bad for good reasons. Let's see how these quests are doing here. It's not that bad actually. Let me tell you about Dark Archangel rank. I have Dark Archangel rank in the universe, and I'm going to teach you how to get it right now. You guys better be so thankful for this. I swear to God, because this is boiling it down to this lowest wedge. The only thing that you really need to worry about if you want to be a Dark Archangel is to know when to do bad things for the best reason for all people in mind. So if you see somebody out here doing like crazy devil magic, like, oh, and then you know the whole story, meaning like you're filled in, you're like, that guy's innocent, that guy's a rapist, he's devil magic, that person's innocent, and I can see all that and I know all that. That's Dark Archangel. And then if you stop it by negative influence on the negative dealer in a similar way to that which he is dealing negativity at you, because you do not have the pre-authorizations of the victim yet. So you do not know that the victim is not a masochist or somebody that is not authorizing you to knight for them. So because you're there witnessing it, you have pre-authorizations to do things in a paradigm that is which is affecting you versus them. Not meaning you get to beat him because that other guy's getting beat. That other guy gets to beat him exactly the way he got beat. That's called eye for an eye and vendetic balance. And I believe in this fully. It's righteous. It's very righteous. But like they said, eye for an eye, everybody's blind. But that's also a misleading thing. That's kind of your right, is to fight back and stop that event with the similar force or counter forces that in which are being applied on you without consent. So you have to sit there and watch. Therefore, you are being forced data. You're being forced to perceive data. So you can force the data forcer, meaning the devil's magic user. You could do the same thing in terms of distracting him from doing it. Technically being a white knight, but you're not white knighting. You're not black knighting. You're just knighting. And that has a lot to do with Dark Archangel status right there, is knowing when to be the knight. Not the white knight. The white knight is actually a bad thing. Let me tell you why the white knight is a bad thing. The white knight goes out to destroy darkness. He does not say, darkness, here is your home. He says, darkness, I destroy thee. Now, what do you think just happened? That knight's logic is eye for an eye, everybody's blind. Because the knight went out, saved somebody, and then took a life. And then now he got murdered. And then he was pissed. He was like, why the fuck do I lose my vessel? I was just saving someone. Yeah, well, you killed somebody. So eye for an eye says you lose your life. Because he gets to come back and kill you. That's why I practice micro blank counter knighting, meaning if somebody's doing something bad, I will do the bare minimum to stop it immediately. And it has to do with relative countering. Meaning I will see what their clauses are on me in the moment. Meaning like if they're making me do something, perceive something, test me in a certain way, then I'm allowed to do the exact same thing to them. Like I'm allowed to just take their thing, shove it right out of space of time and be like, I am not the test victim. You are the test victim. And then if they do the same thing, then I just drop everything. I walk away. That's when you have somebody super wise. They're like, oh, I fucked up. Or I lost myself. Or they were like super terrorists. They've been terrorists for a long time and they know these tactics. I view this philosophy as very profitable too, especially when you're talking about legal reasons, especially earth-based legal reasons. If you use this philosophy, you're pretty much guaranteed to always profit. Because, like, as long as you don't go overboard, like, it has to do with prediction falteration too, and multiversing. Like if somebody's going to kill you, you obviously kill them before they kill you so then they can kill you when they're dead. Right? But don't kill them though. You know what I mean? Take the high road. Kill them but don't kill them. That's how you do it right there. That's how I do it. I don't give a fuck. A fly told me, he's like, I'm in 30 visual spatial dimensions right now. And if I die in any of them, I die in all of them. And I was like, I do things the opposite way. I'm in infinite spatial dimensions. And if I die in one of them, I only die there. That's some hell enlightenment right there. That boy. That boy. I was thinking about that fly. One of the coolest things ever. Almost level 3. Whoops. Oh, there we go. Long dragon monsters. Normal chapter 24. I do that chapter. Oh boy. That's my farm chapter right now. It's my farm chapter to get my Thunder Bracelet and my Shadow Robe up. But I think that's all she wrote for me today. I'm going to take off. I left you guys with some amazing content today. Hope you liked it. Have a good day.